Hey guys, it's Amanda, Creative Gardener. So I wanted to show you these trees. It's a tree that I've always wanted to grow after I saw what was contained in these pods. So this is known as the Adenthera Povenina, and it's also known airport near us. It's also known as the red seed tree or the coral wood. So it's used for its timber. The one that I saw, it was at a you can actually see it near Bridgetown. There's a really big one, so the trunk is actually bigger than this. I think because I've grown it here, there's 3 here, and I wanted to contain them because obviously most trees can grow 30-40 feet. So I wanted to contain it because I want to be able to harvest the red seeds that you get in here. So the pods go brown. You can see a brown one up there, and then they split open. You have to try and catch them before they split open because it will just disperse on the ground. And yeah, it contains these bright shiny red hard seeds in them, and I think it's nice for you to get a look at how they look like when they're young. We have a few that haven't matured here, and you can see just tiny seeds in them. But yeah, these ones are gonna be really nice. If I was to cut it open now, the seed would be yellow, and I know that because I tried. So this particular tree is the largest of the 3 that I have here. Well, it's the largest I've got 6 in the garden at the moment, and I'll show you the others and where they're growing and my plan for them. So as I said, I wanted to be able to keep them at a certain height so that I can access their seeds, and we've got some growing here. And the space that they are, we've got a neem tree growing behind them. Let me just come over here, and this is the smallest of these 3. And as you can see, so the neem tree's growing up there, and so they've bent over where they're trying to get to the sunlight. And as I said, I'm trying to keep this one really small. That's the middle one. We've got this outside one, and that's growing taller because it's got a bit of space, but I'm going to try and clip it off at the top. And then the largest one currently is here, and it's slightly bent over, so I'm going to keep it low, so I'm going to lob off the top. So let's go and see some of the others. If you come this way, it's a small one growing. Again, it's got a few things around it. Actually, no, there's 2 here, so I've actually got 7. So we've got a small one here and this larger one here, but this one I'm going to keep this size, so I need to continue to kind of shape it and allow it to remain a smaller size. And I should still be able to get it to produce seeds, but I want to keep it low because in this area we've got a mango growing. We've got another neem tree behind here which I need to trim. I'm going to have to trim this by half, and then the other one growing, again it's growing in another shaded area which we can stop and have a look at. I'll come this way. I've tried to make the garden into a space that it's just like, oh, what's around here? Oh, what's around here? And little paths and little areas where you can kind of take a seat maybe and relax in the shade. So this is the 7th one then. Again, I'm keeping it low. It's under the flamboyant tree, which I've recently trimmed but needs another trim. It's too heavy on this side. They're known for their shallow roots, so what we don't want is for it to fall over. So yeah, I normally just keep them trimmed and then allow the leaves to dry out, and then this area which is very dry, there's hardly any grass growing, is because of the plants that I guess absorb the moisture from the soil. Anyway, but yeah, so people also make, as I said, it's called the red seed tree, Adenthera, but it's known for its wood. It's used in timber, furniture and things like that. It's supposed to be very a hard wood, very solid, resistant to a lot of pests, so that's good. It's used in medicinally, traditional medicine. And as I say, the seeds, you treat them as pulses and you soak them overnight, and then you boil them and cook them in dishes. The leaves also used in dishes, and that's what I wanted for the garden, a place where the majority of things had a use, either from its aroma, its medicinal properties, or as a food source, or even in terms of the fiber, like the banana leaves can be used in cooking. We'll just see here the banana leaves there, can be used in cooking for certain dishes. If you know konki, it's one of the traditional dishes here with cornmeal and other things. I've never made it myself, but I've seen it boiled in wrapped banana leaves. The banana leaves itself, you can make paper from it, the fibers from the banana plant, and then obviously you eat the bananas. But yeah, having things in the garden that have multiple uses, and even if you can't eat them or use them medicinally, they can be part of like the chop and drop. So I would use, say, the Mexican sunflower you can see along here. I'd use it in chop and drop. So this particular plant, the Adenthera Povenina, has got a multiple amount of benefits in terms of being able to eat the leaves, the seeds, use the wood in timber and making things. And I'm gonna hopefully when I trim some of the others, use some of the branches in the studio and see what kind of craft activities I can do with it. With these long branches, you could potentially use them for like when I make my wall hangings, the poles, they look fairly kind of, straight, and maybe for some of the small ones, and yeah, some other projects. So I just wanted to introduce you properly to these ones. It was fairly easy to grow. I grew them from seed, and yeah, I've now got my own red seeded tree, which I can again then try and use the seeds in jewelry, but they're very hard. You need a drill with a fine bit to drill through them. Yeah, I once met an artist who that's what he did, and I was like, oh my gosh, how did you do that? And he was very like tight-lipped. It was just a trade secret. I was just like, well, obviously I know that you've used a drill of some sort, but you can make beautiful jewelry from them. So yeah, they like the sun. The ones that I've seen out on the road, they like the sun. And as I say, it's really nice to be able to know that you can find another food source, another medicinal source, and even after I've used it for all of that, the leaves can be used as chop and drop, which I've done on occasion. And so yeah, I'm going around the garden looking at other things that have been popping up. I mean, I did plant the flamboyant trees from seed, and it's amazing how quickly they've grown. But I'll show you in another video some of the things I found out about their uses. So I look forward to catching you again. and stay blessed and be a blessing. Take care for now.